Marcus Lee grew up in the south side of Atlanta, a place where sirens were part of the night's soundtrack, and people learned early to keep their heads down. His mother raised him to believe that if he worked hard, stayed honest, and treated everyone with respect, he could make a good life for himself, even in a world that didn't always treat him fairly. By 26, Marcus was living that belief. He was a talented mechanic, the kind who could listen to an engine and tell you exactly what was wrong. Everyone in the neighborhood knew him as the guy who fixes cars and never overcharges. He worked long hours at a small repair shop, saving every dollar he could to open his own garage someday. One Friday evening, rain was falling hard, the kind that blurs headlights and turns the streets into mirrors. Marcus had just finished a long shift and was driving home in his old blue Honda. His hands were greasy, his clothes smelled like oil, and his mind was already on his mother's cooking waiting at home. Then, flashing red and blue lights filled his rearview mirror. Marcus pulled over right away. He hadn't been speeding, hadn't broken a single rule. Still, he remembered what his mother always said. Keep your hands visible. Speak calmly. Don't make any sudden moves. Two white officers approached the car. One held a flashlight to his face. Evening, sir, Marcus said quietly. The officer's reply was sharp. Step out of the vehicle. Marcus frowned, confused. Is there a problem, officer? They told him his car matched the description of one used in a robbery just a few miles away. Marcus explained he'd just gotten off work, even showed his grease-stained hands. But it didn't matter. The officers weren't listening. When Marcus reached slowly toward his glove box for his ID, one of them suddenly yelled, "Gun!" Before he could even speak, Marcus felt a blow to his shoulder. He was yanked from the car, slammed to the wet pavement, and handcuffed. The cold metal bit into his wrists as rain mixed with the blood from his split lip. Marcus was arrested for resisting. He spent 2 nights in a cold cell, replaying the scene over and over. The mug shot, the fingerprint ink, the look of fear on his mother's face when she came to post bail, it all burned into his memory. There was no gun, no stolen goods, just a box of tools in the trunk and a man trying to get home from work. When the case finally went to court, the prosecutor dismissed it in less than 5 minutes. Insufficient evidence, he said, calling it a misunderstanding. But the damage was already done. Marcus lost his job for missing work. His reputation took a hit. Some people whispered about him when he passed. The police officers? They went right back on duty, never charged, never even suspended. A local journalist heard about Marcus's story and wrote an article titled, "Wrong Man Arrested. No Apology Given." It went viral online. For a moment, the community rallied behind Marcus. People marched, chanted his name, demanded the officers face consequences. But soon, the headlines faded, replaced by new stories, new tragedies. Marcus realized justice in America often depends on the color of your skin. For some, the system listens. For others, it stays silent. Months later, after countless applications, Marcus finally found work again. He saved enough to open a small garage, a single-room workshop with faded red doors. On the front, he painted 3 colors: black, white, and red. Black for the pain, white for hope, red for the struggle that never seems to stop. Above the entrance, he hung a wooden sign that read, "Justice delayed is still pain felt." And every time a customer asked about it, Marcus would just smile softly and say, "It's a reminder, not just for me, but for everyone who still believes in fairness." Please subscribe.